And we are back with This is Private Practice, 4:30 on a Wednesday afternoon. It's gotten quite cold here, so I've just created my little cocoon of whiteness around me. Maybe not the best for the skin tone, but I've got the heater on, my slippers on. You're not seeing those. And I am ready to chat with you about my day. My brain has been exploding. Let me tell you, when you set yourself a project and a target, you become very, very focused on it. It's the whole law of attraction, manifestation discussion in action. So what I've been challenged on today is what makes it so difficult for us to ask for help. As practice owners, as business leaders, even if we're in a leadership position in a church or a faith-based community, in our families, why do we find it so hard to ask for help? Now, I've been challenged on this today because I am incredibly conscious of this 7 weeks and 3 days until I go away piece, that there are things creeping up that I'm like, I can't get to that. I don't even know how to think about that or where to think about that. And I've had this little sticky note on my desktop for years. I'm not going to take it off because I think the blue tack might be disintegrating, where it actually says, stop. Before you action, who can do this for you? And I've really been living that philosophy a lot this week already. And today I found myself reaching out to a couple of people asking for help. And I recognized in myself that there were some things I needed to get over to do that. And I've recognized it in a couple of my practice building coaching clients as well, because we find it incredibly difficult to ask for help. And I think one of the first things that comes up when we need to ask for help is there is a pride thing. We don't want to admit that we need help. What went on for me today was this whole, I'm supposed to know how to do this. I'm supposed to know everything there is to know about everything. And therefore, if I say to somebody I need help, I'm admitting that I'm not as good as people think I am. And it just feeds into this whole fear I have that one day you're all going to find out that I'm not as good. Whoops. Interesting. Somebody has just sent me a message on Slack and I didn't even know it was open. Anyway, one day you're all going to find out that I'm not as good as I think I am, and that I'm a liar and a fraud, and everything is going to be miserable. I'm going to die of humiliation, shame, and embarrassment. So getting over my pride. And then there's this sense of being afraid that if I ask for help, I won't get it. So it's this sense of being let down. Hello, person watching who I can't see right now. There's this sense of being let down, or this fear of being let down, or fear that I'm going to ask something and it'll be a burden on someone else. I went into one of these conversations today blatantly apologizing. It's like, I'm sorry for taking up your time. I'm sorry. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm a human being and I don't know how to solve this problem right now. And fortunately, the person on the end of the phone is going, Joe, this is my area of expertise. I'd be offended if you didn't actually call me and ask me for help with this. Slap Joe. I would have I heard that. That was a good thing to say to me. So there's this sense of I'm going to burden somebody, or I'm going to be rejected, or they're going to feel resentful. There's always this, do I need to pay for that or not need to pay for that? It's just having a conversation, being able to have the conversation about those things. And then there's this concern. I didn't know what to ask for. So with one of these things that came up for me today, I just didn't know what to ask for. So I feel like I need to have all the things sorted and everything lined up in a row before I can ask for help. I do this with my team all the time, and it drives some of them nuts because I don't get it right, and they can see me pedaling underneath, or I blow up their inboxes with a gazillion things and they're like, is this really necessary? I wasn't expecting that. I had one person say that to me today. It was the fabulous Kylie Warren. She goes, I had no expectation you would be doing that for me, Joe. You could have saved yourself a heap of stress if you'd talked to me about that before now. So I am learning that this busyness, this lack of strategic thinking around myself is making me grow up. It's causing my capacity to grow. It's helping me ask different questions. I don't need to have all the answers. I just need to know the result I want, the outcome I want, the solution I want, how I feel, how I want to feel. So as a part of this brand new project we've put together that we've now got clients in, I want to do some really great data capture around that. I want to demonstrate to people the types of change that we can make in a person's life rather than I feel better, I can do a little bit more. It was fun to hang out with Joe and the Purple Co team. I actually want to be able to take this information and go, this is the model of rehabilitation that we need to implement people. I want it to be a part of my legacy. I want it to be a part of my need for significance that I spoke to yesterday. But I don't know how to do that stuff. Research was the subject that I turned up to at university because the pass mark was you turned up to every subject. So once I turned up, I knew I had passed. So I didn't do anything beyond that. I haven't done an exam. I haven't submitted an assignment. I haven't done a thing. I simply turned up. So now I'm learning 20 years into my career how maybe if I'd been more interested, that could have been useful to me. Now, let's face it, I'm really not interested. But as a person in my world who loves this sort of stuff, who's great at thinking about it and conceptualizing it, she got all excited about this, that, and she was using language that didn't make any sense to me. Essentially, what I needed to do was write her a brief. This is what I need. This is how I need it to work. This is what I want the data to do for me. And she'll get that brief back to me. The second time I asked for help today, it was like, Joe, I've got that all under control. You can go worry about something else now. Okay. And then a third thing I asked for help for today, it's about, it's stuff that I find uncomfortable. I don't enjoy conflict or uncomfortable conversations. I'm just not very confident with them. I know you're all going, what? You? Yeah, I don't like them. I can do them for other people. I'm very good at facilitating them where other people are involved. I just don't enjoy them when they involve me. So I've just gone, I need to resource myself and get some help to be able to have those conversations when I need to have those conversations and not feel like I'm a failure or I'm less than or I'm not good enough. See, what CEOs do in a business is they rarely do stuff on the tools. They're all about which person or tool or resource or program or product do we need for that solution. If our business goals are to drive this business in this way, what are the things we need to do that? They are rarely the person going, I need to do the bookkeeping, the accounting, the marketing, the cleaning of the toilets, the the work with the actual clients, the marketing, the business development, the HR, the IT. They rarely do all of that. They have an overview of all of that, but they understand how all of those pieces need to drive a business forward. So I think that is our challenge as business owners and as leaders in our profession. As we become more competent in our skills, more confident in who we are, we need to grow our capacity and we need to ask ourselves different questions. And this is what we mean by getting your head right. This is what we mean by getting perspective. Because what you did to get yourself here isn't what you need to get yourself where you want to go. I've got one of my practice building clients at the moment. It's Sherry and Jill. They're about to hit a revenue target this year that is phenomenal. And they're going to hit it before I am. And I'm so proud of them and I'm so excited for them. And we've worked really hard to do that, but they've had to learn to think differently. They've had to learn to ask each other and themselves different questions. They've had to learn how to put different expectations on their team members. They've had to learn how to step out of doing all the work all the time, which is how they started their practice, by the way, and think differently. And once we put a C, what we're going to, clinical chief clinical operations person and a chief operations officer, and once we put the C's in and we knew we were the chief, we had massive change happen. Well, I need to do that. I need to put more of the CEO in my role and in my head and make sure that I am acting responsibly with the tasks that I've been given. So we're into day 3 of this 8-week challenge that I've set myself. Good news is I've done my 15-minute yoga sequence every day this week. I'm a bit proud of that. Let's see if we can keep that going. My back is nowhere near as tight as it has been, and it doesn't take you very long when it's a whole 15 minutes. So I'm looking forward to seeing the discipline of that play out in other parts of my life. So tomorrow is a very different day for me. I'm not actually going to be working in my business. I am playing host to some people from the US and enjoying the beautiful Blue Mountains with them. It's going to be chilly. So I'm doubtful there will be a live recording tomorrow afternoon. So until Friday, when we can celebrate the week together, go be your awesome self.